Welcome back to the House of Faith and Fashion. Today we've been celebrating New York City fashion scene. First, I had the fashion designer Nicole Miller here with her global fashion and lifestyle brand for the uptown girl with a downtown attitude. But now we're going all the way uptown to Harlem with the trendsetter, entrepreneur, and fashion designer Amal Carter. Welcome to the House of Faith and Fashion, Amal. Welcome to the show. And what do I call you, Ahmed? Mel Maxi? Is that how I know you?
Yes, yes, Mel Maxi that's what I go by. I really don't go by my government name. I really go by Mel Maxi, you know?
Okay, well, I just want to tell you for my viewers, yes, I did change from the first half of the show because
Yeah, yeah.
with Mel, I had to wear, look at this,
Mm,
blue to wine
yeah. Ooh,
Mongolian lamb with a knit trim and black leather. I want you to know this is absolutely vintage Steven Sprouse, way
wow.
back. So I put this on in honor of you. So do I get a thumbs up? It's
Oh,
good.
you get 5 thumbs up,
Oh,
not 2.
5 thumbs up. Oh, I'm so
5.
excited. This is really exciting. Amal, we're going through a history lesson here
Yes.
today.
Let's do
You've been in the fashion industry since the late 80s, starting off in Dapper Dan's legendary boutique. When did you first discover your passion for this fashion?
Well, it started when I was like maybe 13,
Mhm.
being up under that when he first opened the store. Basically, I had like a front row seat to everything you could imagine as far as fashion, from all the top people, from the Tysons to the LL Cool J's, the Eric B. and Rakims, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Bobby Browns. I mean, just right there alone, I tell you that, hey, I had some type of passion for fashion, and then one
Mhm.
thing led to another. That's all.
Well, you can't say that's all because
Mm.
what you just said, I think we have to like pause and digest.
Yes.
But interestingly enough, for people that want to know about me, I in 2000 I was in the hip hop industry, owning the first female owned urban label that went straight to Kmart, and it was called Cheddar. And one of the people that we, as a group that owned the company, for as inspiration was Dapper Dan and what he was doing because that's where fashion was. Fashion wasn't on the runway.
No.
Fashion was exactly where you were. It was on the streets, and that's where it was coming from. And you were among and in the presence of real fashion history. And so I'm acknowledging that saying, okay, I'm like, wow, wow. So, what was it like growing up in that kind of environment?
I mean, like I said, it was like a front row seat to fashion. I mean, everybody that you could imagine. I mean, and then seeing that work, you know what I'm saying, from going downtown to getting certain things, certain materials, certain furs. Because during that time, we were selling colored furs, then minks, dyed red
Mhm,
minks, dyed yellow
mhm,
minks with the Doberman sleeves, you
mhm.
know. So just watching him work while I was just sitting in the car, was like, that's something that I definitely want to do as I get older. So as I got older, it's kind of like I took the reign and started doing the people from the Nellies to the Cash Moneys, to the Jeezys and stuff like that.
Yes, what you're saying is so every morsel of what you're saying is so important because
Mhm.
we do know that this year the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the costume exhibit, is now in honor of this particular industry. So it went all the way from the street to the uptown of the uptown of the
Yes,
uptown to the Met.
yes.
So I'm going to ask you a very obvious question. What impact would you say Harlem has had on the fashion industry?
Oh, Harlem has a major impact because everywhere I went, from city to city that I lived in, from St. Louis, Memphis, Cincinnati, they always loved my style. And that being my style also got me customers because they always loved what I had on. Yo, I like what you got on. Hey,
Right.
can you do that for me? So that's how I became cool with like people like Ocho Cinco that played in Cincinnati with the Bengals
Hmm.
and a lot of different artists from other different cities, from the Yo Gottis in Memphis to the, like I said, to the Nelly in St. Louis. Everybody loved my style, which is a Harlem style. So
Yes.
they gravitated to it, and I did it for them, Gave them a piece of Harlem.
Well, Harlem style is really it's a fashion category,
Mhm.
which to me is enormous. But you have paved your own way since Dapper Dan, and you do now Mel Maxi Custom Couture.
Yeah.
So, wow, tell us about that.
Well, the Mel Maxi Couture came up. The name Mel Maxi came up was an NBA player by the name of Walter Berry. And
Hmm.
he said, "Imma stop calling you Gucci Mel, Imma call you Mel Maxi." And from there, it stuck with me. So
Wow.
as I got older, when I started traveling, I said, "You know what? This Mel Maxi look, Imma get ahead and couture it." So, when I deal with certain people like my man CeeLo Green, he's one of the main people. When I get on the phone with him and talk fashion, sometimes we be talking for about 2 hours,
Wow.
just going back and forth. I love CeeLo because his fashion sense is so crazy, you
Hmm.
know? But that's basically the Mel Maxi couture thing. It's just whatever I come off top of my head, I just put it in perspective and just do it.
That's beyond an art. That's like
Mm.
almost a privilege that you can do something that like that. And a privilege for you to do it and a privilege for somebody who's wearing one of your collections. But can you tell my viewers how you participate in New York Fashion Week, which is so important?
Well, this year was really the first time I participated. A friend of mine's from out of St. Louis, she has a fur company called Fur and Leather. Her name is Tierra. And me and her did a collaboration, and we did Fashion Bomb Daily this fashion week, and we did all type of Swakara, Persian lamb, all type of fur skins. I mean, we rocked it. We really rocked it for real.
I am certain that you did. Given that 1% of Black-owned brands are sold in the US, Harlem seems to have a vital space to make change because it has an undeniable influence on the industry. In what ways do you inspire change to make room for the next Mel Maxi? How do you
Well,
pave the way?
what I do is there's a lot of young cats in my neighborhood that always compliment me and be like, "Oh, gee, I want what you wearing," and stuff like that. So what I would do is sometimes I pick and choose and say, "Hey, call me downtown so you
Mhm,
can, watch me pick certain materials, learn certain skins and stuff like that, and then help them incorporate what they trying to do, you know what I'm saying, into what I just gave
mhm,
them, you
mhm,
know? And from
mhm.
there, a lot of them take off. They do their nice little sweatsuits, nice little varsity jackets, and that's where it start at, showing
Mhm.
love to the young cats in the neighborhood that's, trying to push the envelope too, like me.
Well, you do the Mel Maxi mentoring program in your
Yeah,
own way, which is really commendable because a lot of people want to keep everything to themselves, and you
yeah.
want to share. And I think that's an unbelievable quality. So I'm going to put you on the spot and say, listen, can I go with you to the Met Ball this year? Can I be your plus one?
Can I be your plus one?
I'm not going to get invited. I know you're definitely getting
Man, I
invited.
hope I
Oh
do
my
get
God.
invited.
Do you have your outfit ready for the Met Ball? Because I
Nope,
can't even imagine what you're going to look like or
I
who
wear
you're
cape.
dressing.
Imma wear
You wear
cape,
Oh,
a
you're is
chinchilla cape. That'd be crazy.
oh my God, that is unbelievable. So, right now, who do you think is, like, the best dressed entertainment industry person now? Like, who is it? Is it Cardi B? Is she really, like, the fashion icon, or is there somebody that's just more creative?
I have to give it to Cardi B.
Yeah.
Cardi B is fly.
Yeah.
She's real fly, like real fly. I like her. Cardi B is dope. And as far as the guys in the hip hop game, I like Fabulous.
Oh, okay.
Fabulous be putting it on, you know?
Okay. Okay, so if I'm gonna say, hey Cardi, if you're watching, I think Mel Maxi wants to do one of your outfits, or at least give you have a fur made by him. Is that correct?
That's correct. I did do something for her too. It was
Oh, you
this,
did?
yeah,
Share, share.
it was the TikTok award show.
Oh
Me and
yeah.
J Customs, she does a lot of dope work. So she called me and said, "Hey Mel, I got a project for us, Cardi B. I need you to do the fellas and I do all the women." I said, "No problem." And we knocked it out the park.
Ooh, what? Describe it. What'd
It
you do
was
for her?
red. She had like a red whole scenery. And I did the red leather outfits for the guys. She did the red sequin stuff for the women. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? And then Cardi with the red fur and all that. It was crazy. It was a TikTok award show.
Oh my God, that sounds like that
Mhm.
sounds unbelievably luscious, especially your colored furs, which is why I wore my colored fur, even though I
Yeah,
left my navy blue mink jacket upstairs. I should have had it right next to me. Mel, tell me a really good story about being with Dapper Dan.
well, it's so many stories about that boutique on 125th Street. But I can give you one. I remember one time a guy came in there. His name was Supreme. And he came in and he was asking to get some custom stuff done. So Dap turned him away, and he said, "Mel, go follow him, see what he get in." So I followed him, hopped in this beautiful Mercedes Benz. So I stopped him. I said, "Hey, come on back." And don't you know that was the beginning of the album cover? Eric B and Rakim paid him for the Gucci outfits.
Oh my God.
It was the
Wow.
guy Supreme who came back the next day with Eric B and Rakim, and the rest was history. That's when
Wow.
all the album covers came. Paid in full, Follow the Leader. Yeah, Paid in full and Follow the Leader. That was a beautiful that was a great
Wow,
time, man. Yeah.
that's amazing. That is, I mean, like you're really like so you're so rich in history of this genre and everything around it, but not, you're like really in the trenches by
Yeah,
dressing them. And
yeah,
because the outfits mean so, how you look is just important in rap as to what you're saying. That
that's
it
right.
has to go together. Okay, who gave you the most problems?
Mm.
Or you can't say.
I would say the most problems, but creativity
Hmm.
and it's fun, the back and forth,
Go ahead.
I would say CeeLo. He's so
Wow.
particular. And
Wow.
he's so dope with it, you know what I'm saying? But me and him be like, "Hey, Melly, I got an idea, Melly. What you think about this, Melly?" You know? So he's the one, he wouldn't give me problems, but it's creativity problems.
Oh, I see. So he micromanages his particular designs with
Yes.
you. I got
Yes.
it. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. So back in the day,
Mhm.
who do you think which artist made the most impact in the style arena? Like one of them.
Mm. I have to say 2 people. One wasn't a rapper and the others are rappers. I would say in the rap game, Eric B and Rakim,
Okay.
and then in the street game, a guy by the name of Alpo. Those
Okay.
2 right there, major impact in the fashion game in the '80s going
Right.
into the '90s.
Wow. Wow. So did you like come to these people and say, I really want to dress you or change you? Did you have to work with their stylist or you inherently just knew what they should look like?
Well, Eric B and Rakim, they dealt with that because I was too young back
Okay.
in age. But the people I dealt with from the '90s up,
Mhm.
usually I would meet them and pass by, or
Mhm.
I would meet them through a mutual friend, and they say, "Hey, that's Mel Maxi right there. He does. Oh, let him do some stuff for me." And we create a bond, so they could easily just pick up the phone. Yo, I got a video coming up, or I got a show coming up, and I need this. I'm wearing these type of shoes, so can you
Right,
match something to go with this? It always start from the shoes, really, or the
right.
sneakers, and then go up.
So speaking of that, how
Mhm,
did it feel to actually have the real brands like Gucci finally honor the craft that you had? Because this was like a real, they almost had to like really pay homage to what you guys were doing by mixing their sort of brands with your own designs and
mhm,
creating your own custom, like you doing custom Nikes before custom Nikes was
mhm.
in anyone's brain.
Yeah. It's humbling because I remember when Dap first was doing this stuff,
Mhm.
and I could go as far as back as I remember when Gucci came in the store and raided the store. He wasn't there. I was there. I was a young kid. I was 12 years old. So
Wow.
it's so ironic that they raided the store back in 87, and here it is nowadays, they giving him a deal.
Right. Exactly. That's what
You
I'm
know?
saying.
That's
What a 360 moment.
yes.
Going from like, you're copying us, this is our designs, you
Mhm.
can't do that, to we need you.
Mhm.
You really honored us in a way that might not have been the way that we wanted to get honored, but the truth
Mhm.
is, nowadays they, especially somebody like Gucci, needs to hang on to any kind of sale they can possibly get, because they're,
Yes.
their brands, you can, how much could you rely on just logos with not with no creativity to go along with it?
You
And
know
you and your uncle, you brought the creative part to that to let's just say the 2 Gs or just a logo.
Yeah.
You made logos come alive, and
Yes.
it's so interesting how now you're being honored for that.
Yeah, that's great because I saw him take stuff and create jackets out of it, and I used to be like, "Wow." You know what I'm saying? They used to line up just to get that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And like
Yes.
I said, they wasn't doing what we was doing
No.
because we was making it for the urban community as far as the rappers and everything.
Right,
This stuff was
right.
more European cut.
Mhm.
So, he had to figure it out, and well, he figured it out, and the rest was history. And then fast forward now, they copy something for the runway that we did out of Louis Vuitton for Diane Dixon, track
Right.
star back in the day. So that's a blessing right there for him to get his flowers, you know?
Yes. Well, it's also, for you also, like I was going to ask you, like to take what you're saying, make your statement go even further.
Yes.
How do you feel about Pharrell being the head of Louis Vuitton? I mean, that is, the creative director, that
Yes.
is, that in itself, just the appointment of him in the position that he's in is really, really homage to your roots
Yes.
of where
Yeah.
your fashion foundation.
Yes. I feel a lot of these guys, they go back to the old archives of stuff
Mhm,
that we did all the
mhm,
way up, and they kind of like recycle it,
mhm,
because I see a
mhm.
lot of stuff, even Supreme. There's a lot of stuff I did for Nelly, Louis
Right.
Vuitton baseball jerseys and stuff like that, and I see them doing it now. So I
Wow.
know they go into the archives and look at stuff we did and recreate it.
Yes. So what's next for you?
What's next for me? What's next for me?
Yeah.
This furs, these skins, this Sequara. I mean, it's so much going on right now. I'm praying that this situation with the big LVMH go through,
Mhm,
you know.
mhm,
So
mhm.
I got to talk to the few people, but I'm just going to continue pushing the envelope.
Well, listen, when you make it to that next level of like that we'll call it collaboration for the lack of a better
Mhm.
word, you need to come back and make your announcement on the House of Faith and Fashion, because I'll be like popping champagne going, I'll put on a different fur for that one. I think
Yes,
that that's gonna be.
maybe I do the fur for you to put on,
Oh, okay. No problem.
you know?
No problem. I'll say yes. I don't even care what it looks. I trust you because I
There we
think that
go.
you're extremely talented
There we
and you're
go.
wonderful. But I have a couple of another faith-based question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that your talents are God-given?
Yes. You know why?